Alright, so we're in day 3 of Hawaii. What are we doing today?
We are going to Kualoa Ranch.
For the Jurassic Park
Set.
Adventure.
Yeah.
I got our JP shirts on. And what else is today?
Your birthday. Happy birthday, Jennifer.
Thank you. We made it to Kualoa Ranch. We're here for Jurassic Park. It literally looks like the movie. It's crazy.
On the drive here.
On the drive, yeah, it was beautiful. Yeah, we're gonna walk up and check in right now. I got a 2-hour tour.
We wanted to do the boat one too.
Oh yeah, the boat one was closed on Sundays. That's okay. We're gonna check out, there's this little beach outside on the front. We'll check it out after.
Yeah. Enjoy our day out here a little bit before we have to head back.
Yeah. Guess we go up there to check in.
Check in, yeah. Welcome to Jurassic Park.
Alright, she said that they'll be back.
Apparently there's a very large family with you. Oh, seriously? Look, family of 12, or they were.
Ready to do our tour?
Yeah, ready to do our tour.
We're on our little
Front row right now.
bus.
Sherry got playing the Jurassic Park ride.
Music.
Music.
Look at that view.
Welcome to the Jurassic Adventure Tour. My name is Tenneil. I'm going to be your tour guide for the next 2.5 hours. So we're going to become really close because we're going to be spending so much time together. Now today I'm going to take you up into the mountains of Kualoa and we're going to see some of the sets and sights from your favorite movies, Jurassic World, Jurassic World Fallen Kingdom, and the best Jurassic, Jurassic Park. Now, by raise of hands, whose favorite movie was Jurassic World Fallen Kingdom?
I don't know which one I want.
I knew the answer to this question already. How about Jurassic World? Not even one little finger. Okay. How about Jurassic Park?
Yeah.
The best one.
All right. So, I remember the day that I watched Jurassic Park sitting in the theater. I'm not going to tell you guys because then I'll age myself. No. And I just remember thinking, wow, those dinosaurs look so real. So today we're going to see some of the sets and sights from these movies. Now, Jurassic Park is the movie that put Kualoa on the map for many other movies to come and film their movies here. It also basically brought up the popularity of the ranch. Before the movies came to the ranch, basically we were just a ranching outfit, and we did have a horseback tour, but really it was just to go see the scenery in our valleys. And so since Jurassic Park came, we've had quite a few movies coming and filming in our valleys. Now, I will talk about some of these movies as we go along. I'll also tell you about the Hawaiian culture and also the history of the ranch, so you're going to get the comprehensive tour today. Now, if you haven't heard, this is the second bumpiest tour here on the ranch, and so I'm going to ask that everybody keeps their seatbelts on while the truck is in motion, and also even when I slow down. Now please keep your hands and your heads inside the truck because I do get close to grass and also tree trunks. And lastly, have fun, okay? Enjoy the scenery, enjoy the beautiful breeze. Now if the breeze knocks your hat off, glasses, phones, cameras, eyelashes off the truck, let me know as soon as possible by hitting the top of the truck or the side of the truck, and I'll go ahead and stop and try and recover those things for you. All right, now we're gonna start the tour with the dinosaur greeting, which is roar. On the count of 3, 1, 2, 3. Roar. All right, let's get started.
This mountain straight ahead of us is the Kualoa mountain range.
Use the thing though.
Kua means back and loa means long, and so this is the long back of a giant lizard, according to an ancient legend that talks about a lizard that roams this land. But we also like to say that Kualoa represents the long history that the ranch has had with the Hawaiian people and with the culture. It's one of the first tours that we've had here on the ranch. Now we're going to be greeted by our cows here. We have 3 different flavors of cows. Just joking. We have 3 different types of cows that live here on the ranch. We have our Black Angus, we have our White Charolais, and then we have our Red Angus. Now here on the ranch we have about 500 head of cattle, and half of those cattle cattle are all calves, and then the other half are moms. Now we do have a few bulls here who come during certain months to do their business, and then it starts the new cycle of mamas having calves. Now as we go into the valley, you will see a lot running away from the Indominus Rex. They get to the abandoned building from Jurassic Park. They hot wire the Jeeps there, they hop in the Jeeps, and they're flying down this road. They see the Jurassic World gate, the gates are closed, it's electrified, and what do? They press the gas pedal down and they zoom and break these gates open. And so we're going to go ahead and do the same thing, except we're going to take it easy because the gates are open already. Now, a few things to notice. You see the buckling on the fence? That is from those stunt doubles driving in the Jeep and hitting these front gates. Now, a few things have changed here. Today we have our 2 resident raptors keeping watch over this gate. We have Lilo on the left and Stitch on the right. So I'm going to just give you a few seconds to take some pictures. Now, please keep your hands in and away from these raptors because they haven't had their lunch yet. And when they don't have their lunch, they get a little feisty. All right, did everybody get some pictures?
Yes.
To make sure we could get away safely. Woo! Wow, I'm so glad we got away from those raptors because sometimes they get really, really hungry. All right, now back in 1941, after the bomb, after Pearl Harbor was attacked and bombed, the U.S. government took over all of this land here, and so as we're driving along, you're going to see about 15 bunkers that were built by the U.S. government. Now, to the right, you're going to see some stairs going into the ground. This bunker was a communications center, and it was about 30 feet by 30 feet. Now, you're going to see up ahead, we have a U-shaped bunker, and they would back their artillery trucks back into the bunker with their guns facing towards the horizon, watching if any ships were coming on the horizon or enemy airplanes. And next we have this bunker with the windows, the open windows on the side. Now this is one of the more common bunkers that you'll see on the island. In fact, if you've been to a pillbox hike, you may have seen a bunker. And we're going to go ahead and take a look at it in just a moment. Welcome to the Pacific Ocean.
Wow.
I'll just go ahead and drive slowly by so you can all take some nice pictures.
Take a video too.
But don't forget to look to the left at our Battery Cooper. Can you guys see those surfers out there? One cool fact, it was the Hawaiians that started surfing. Alright guys, so if you look to the right here, you're going to see this rock structure, the ahu with the pig's head, the altar with the pig's head. When we pass this, we're going to be in the ahu pua'a of Ka'a'awa. So welcome to Ka'a'awa Ahu Pua'a. Now don't forget to look to the left here at Battery Cooper. And what you're going to see is the Pinsgauer Jeep. So go ahead and look at that Jeep right there, that Swiss Jeep. That Pinsgauer Jeep was used in the filming of Jurassic World. And I'm going to go ahead and tell you a little bit more about that scene as we get down into the valley. Now, a few scenes were filmed here on this side of the valley, but the scene that was filmed here, the men are escaping from Colombia and they're traveling along this precarious ridge here. Now, they CGI'd in the rest of the ridge falling about 100 to 200 feet, but as you can see when they filmed the movie, they actually built this 4-foot ledge here, and then the men stood here while the camera crew filmed them. And later on in the movie, later on in post-production, then they CGI'd on that cliff onto the side of this little ledge here. Alright guys, welcome to the beautiful Jurassic Valley or Ka'a'awa Ahu Pua'a.
have our mountains here that flank this beautiful valley. To the back of us here, Kualoa, the back of the Kualoa mountain range. Okay, and then to the right we have Pu'u'o. Now imagine these two mountains as waves crashing together, forming this middle mountain here called Pu'u'o. And hule means the crashing of two waves. Now I'm going to go ahead and let down the gate. We'll go ahead to the grassy area. I'm going to tell you a little bit about the scene that was filmed here and also about the mountain behind us, and then you can take a bunch of pictures. Okay, all right. Rides is called Walk with the Gallimimus, and this is a scene from the movie, right? You can see the Pinsgauer Jeep that was up at Battery Cooper, and they were just driving those people back and forth in this field. Now later on they added the Gallimimus into their shots, and so if you were an actor on this truck, you had to pretend like you were seeing dinosaurs. You know, you had to do this thing where you were acting like you could see them. And so the Pinsgauer Jeep that you saw up at Battery Cooper was the original Pinsgauer Jeep that they used in the movie. So back in 2014 when they filmed the movie, we were actually taking our tours in those little Jeeps. And so about 8 people would fit into those Jeeps. We drive them up into the valley. When the producers came here to the valley, they saw us using our Jeeps and they said, hey, you know what? Can we use them in our movie? And so they got the idea to basically use the Jeep for their ride, Walk with the Gallimimus. Now, if you look at this mountain here, you may recall that they used these bridges as a backdrop for the monorail in the movie Jurassic World. Now, as we take this road here up to our next stop, go ahead and look over to this mountain and imagine that monorail just traveling, in the middle of those bridges. Now, the last scene that they filmed here was from the movie Jurassic World Fallen Kingdom, and it was Chris Pratt filming with Claire and Franklin. Claire and Franklin are riding in the gyrosphere in Fallen Kingdom. Do you remember right before they fall into the ocean in the gyrosphere? So they're all rolling and down this hill here, or down this area, this field. Chris Pratt is running behind the gyrosphere, and he worked out to be in this movie, and so he's running really, really fast, right? So when they said cut after he was running after the gyrosphere, Chris Pratt says, "Did you get that? I clocked in at 65 miles per hour." Everybody starts laughing, and then he says, "Suck on that, Tom Cruise." And so for those of you who love Tom Cruise, I do. No, I really like him. He's probably the best runner in the industry, and so for Chris Pratt to kind of, call him out, I think that's pretty funny. But that was filmed right here also. Okay, guys.
Waiting for the hurricane to hit. Now, Steven Spielberg, as they were in the shelter, had this great idea. Hey, why don't I use this as an opportunity to get some footage for the movie? And so he found a cameraman. He went out of the shelter and he went around the island of Kauai, filming shots of the waves crashing against the side of the cliff. And he also got the wind blowing through the trees.
Now, if you recall, Dr. Grant and the 2 Hammond grandkids, they spend the night in the tree after they get knocked over that cliffside by the T-Rex. When they wake up in the morning, they're walking on this hillside. So right behind there on this first hill, they're standing right there. The camera is on the other side of them, facing this way. So when you watch the movie again, you're going to see this tree in the background. Of course, this tree is about 20 years older, so in the movie it's a lot smaller. So you'll see basically this tree and then this background. Now, as they're standing on that hill, Dr. Grant notices a bunch of dinosaurs running along the hill, and he asks little Timmy, "What kind of dinosaurs are those?" Little Timmy says, Gallimimus. And Dr. Grant comments about how beautiful it is that those Gallimimus look like a flock of birds. Now, Timmy, as he looks at the dinosaurs, realizes that they are running their way, so he says, "They're flocking this way." And the 3 of them start running down this hill. So this is the scene with Dr. Grant, Lexi, and Timmy running down the hill. Now, after you look at the picture, see if you can find the mountains in the background.
Which movie was it?
Jurassic Park. Was the original. Okay. Okay. All right.
Yeah.
So it's these mountains right here. They would have been running down this hill. The camera would have been facing these mountains as they were running down. So as the characters are running down the hill, they see the log. They jump over the log. They cower in front of the log as the Gallimimus jump over them and the log. Now, after the Gallimimus jump over them, They crawl under the log and they peer over the log. What do they see next?
The T-Rex.
The T-Rex coming and eating the Gallimimus. At which point, Dr. Grant tries pulling the kids away from the log. Timmy, stuck in amazement, says, "So much blood." And that was the scene that they filmed right here. Now, this is just a stump double. This is the third generation log. It's really hard to keep Deadwood alive, you know? And so we're gonna go ahead and go to that log there, and we are gonna pretend like we are Timmy, Lexi, and Dr. Grant looking in horror as the T-Rex eats the Gallimimus. And then we're gonna bring in my little friend Rexy, and you are gonna be eaten by a dinosaur. So, you know, if you know what to do, you can act terrified, scared, you can push somebody into the dinosaur, you can feed your kids to the dinosaur, whatever you feel inspired to do, let's go ahead and do that. So do I...
All right, so there's our little vehicle that they're taking us on the tour with. And then that right there is where the Gallimimus was running. We should take a picture over there. And there's the little stump double. So we'll take a picture over
I
there.
guess it's the third generation of the same log.
Yeah.
The first one's dead, so like she said, it's hard to keep a dead trunk alive. Watch your step, okay?
But yeah, this is a great tour if
far.
you love Jurassic Park. It's a great way to celebrate my birthday today. I'm almost as old as, well, actually I'm older than Jurassic Park. Alright, here. Take a picture.
I wanted to stop here to show you a few other scenes, movie sites that were filmed here in the valley. Now, first off, I wanted to kind of show you this picture again of the monorail that would have run straight across this mountain right here. Now, in the movie, they needed a little bit more scene time for the brothers Zach and Gray to ride across this mountain. So, I mean, the mountain looks pretty long, like they could have got enough footage, but it just wasn't enough. So they actually copied a piece of this mountain, stretched the mountain, paste it right in the middle so that the mountain could be just a little bit longer to make the scene where Zach and Gray are riding on the monorail just a little bit longer. Now, if you look straight to the other side of the valley, you're gonna see the skull of Kong's mother from Kong's Skull Island. It's super tiny. As we get down to the bottom of this valley, we're gonna be able to see the boneyard a little bit better, but that's what you're looking at. Now, zoom a little bit closer to the truck. Down below this hill, we have these 6 coconut trees and a field right in front of it. So, who's seen the movie Jumanji, Welcome to the Jungle? Okay, so that is where the transportation shed was built. And if you recall in the scene, Ruby Roundhouse has the job of distracting the guards that are watching over the transportation shed. In fact, Jack Black has just taught her how to flirt, and so she's kind of using those moves. She's walking towards the guards of that shack. And then what do you hear? Let me see if I can find it for you. Ooh, baby, I love right? Okay, and then a dance fight ensues. Now, Ruby Roundhouse is able to defeat both of those guards within the time that this song plays, and it's pretty cool, her just beating up those guys. Now, her team is able to sneak into the transportation shed and get the helicopter that they need to go and get the jewel. So that was filmed right here. Now, we did take our transportation shed after the movie was finished filming, and we actually have it down below, and we keep our pigs under that transportation shed.
And the phone rings. Now the ride operator, whose name is Josh, picks up that phone call, and we don't hear what's happening on the other line, but it looks like they tell him that he has to shut down the ride. So he announces to the hundreds of people still standing in line that the ride is closed and it's shut down. Now you can imagine what happens after that, but you've also seen the movie, so everyone starts complaining, starts moaning and groaning, and it's at that point that the ride operator Josh says, "Come on, man, I just work here." And that's the scene of
right here.
the Gyrosphere Depot. Now imagine to the left of this depot an extension that looks exactly like this platform. So when they filmed, they had an extension so that they could kind of extend the scene that they filmed there, or the time that it took from the gyrosphere to enter the depot and exit the depot. But also, if you look on this poster here, you can see all the extras that came to stand in line for.
Oh, wow.
dinosaur.
Alright guys, welcome to the Gyrosphere Depot. Now when they were filming in 2014, they had kind of set it up, they had built a platform right to the back of this depot here, and then this is what it looked like. You can see the holes for the stanchions, for the bars, where they corralled all the people that were standing in line. And then right in this light colored concrete area, it dropped down about 2 feet. So you can actually look beneath those stairs and you can see that open space under there. They had a track running along on this drop down area, and they basically put this, they put the gyrosphere on top of the body of a go-kart, right? And then they mounted it on top of the track. Now all of the scenes that they filmed it with this bare bone gyrosphere, right? And that's so that they didn't get any reflections on top of the glass. And then later on during the movie or in post-production, they went ahead and put the glass onto the gyrosphere. Now, after they finished filming, the movie crew, they asked us if we wanted to keep these gyrospheres, and it would only cost us about $2 million. So we said, no, thank you. But these actually cost $1 million to make. So with the glass, with this frame, $1 million, and they built 2. And so I'm not sure if they offered us 2 or if they just said, hey, it cost us $1 million and we just want you to pay a bunch of money, so give us $2 million. But that's the gyrosphere. Now, for any of the scenes that you see in Jurassic World where the characters have looks of surprise, shock, excitement, what they did is they built a makeshift roller coaster with a big drop-off. They put a green screen behind the gyrosphere and then they sent those actors over that little drop-off there to get their real, genuine reactions. So this one was actually from them falling over the cliff as they fell into the ocean in the gyrosphere. All right, now this is one of the sets that we decided to keep. As you can tell, it's been about 11 years since they built this set. You can see there's been some wear and tear, but it's lasted through some pretty big storms, winds, and also rains. Now, it's our responsibility here at the ranch to take care of this set, and we cannot call the movie and say, hey, it's falling apart, can you come and fix it? And one of the things that we sign when they leave us a set is basically that we don't contact them to come and fix up their set. It solely belongs to us.
All right, got the Jurassic Park vehicle, the bunker, the cage to transport Blue. I know.
You can see Colin's mother's skull there. Looks much bigger than from when we were on the other side of the valley. Now she was being a little feisty, so I had to give her some cracks. That's why she's missing some teeth. Just kidding. All right, now when they
That's the paddock from Jurassic World. I do want to see that. That's the original raptor cage.
Beginning of the movie of Jurassic Park.
Let's see.
Tour guide went through some narrow roads. Got the front row of it. It was so epic.
Get my phone out.
Yeah.
Oh wow, yeah, you could see this is the original one from the first movie. Where he's like, shoot her, shoot her, shoot her. So you got some raptors here. On the wall you got the claw marks from the Adonimus Rex. There's a cow somewhere nearby, I hear it. They got the raptor cages. Let's get a picture from the... Oh, then there's our observation deck.
Check out after.
Yeah. But here's the claw marks that they used in the movie from the Adonimus Rex. It's pretty cool. Got my raptor homies.
Raptor homies?
It's like Chris Pratt. You're not gonna bite me now. Don't bite. Don't bite. tour has been amazing.
Mm-hmm.
Tenneil's been the best tour guide, so hopefully you'll get her when you come. But, yeah. Ooh, it is hot in here. It's a map of Isla Nublar.
Ooh, it's hot in here.
Yeah, I just said that. Here you go. More film. Pictures of the movie. And here's the observation deck where they were. Oh, it's really hot up here. Oh. Okay. There you go with Claire. Well, a couple years will take some life. Oh, this pictures right here, you can tell the sun has hit them.
Yeah. Over the years.
Yeah, she was saying that all this was CGI, but it's a real pond. But yeah, we definitely drove through these mountains here. That's some behind the scenes photos of them filming. Oh yeah, so this they CGI'd it from SeaWorld San Diego apparently, but the lake is real and the mountains in the back are real. You got Chris Pratt.
Doing that pose.
I need to get out of here. It's really hot in here. But here's your woo!
One picture of me.
Wow, look at that background.
Oh,
It's
yeah.
really a good, nice background. Well, there you guys have it. Thanks for joining us on our bumpy ride
Oh,
through the Kualoa Ranch for the Jurassic Valley tour.
very worth it.
We did 2 tours. We did the movie sites tour. I didn't really film that much because honestly, you're seeing some of the same stuff. You only go to do a few different spots, but the Jurassic Valley tour is worth it if you're a Jurassic Park fan. Definitely come and do that tour.
Do that
You
one.
can skip the movie sites tour because they only show you Godzilla's footprint and
You get to get off the bus and go into the
To
World War II bunker.
that. Oh yeah,
And you get to see Rainbow Beach and the skull.
King Kong Skull Island.
But that's pretty much
Yeah.
it. It's worth it though.
Thank
the
you
Jurassic Park.
for taking me here for my
Oh,
birthday.
you're welcome. We still have dinner.
Oh yes, but thanks for watching and we'll see you tomorrow.
Bye.